Yeah, Sam, it was a tough way to end that game, but a really good game overall. You guys brought heaps of tackling pressure today. Are you beyond anything else, proud of how the team went about?
Yeah, I don't think you could question our desire and effort across the course of the day. I think we had 88 tackles. Whether we sucked them or not, a bit of work to do on that. I think early in the game and even in the third quarter we tackled really well, but our efficiency dropped right away. Outside of stoppages, it was around 30% in the last quarter. So if you looked at the last part of the game, they got on top in clearances and in just their ability to break our tackles. Sort of talked to the boys about you play an in-form side who's gone really well. We need to be, tougher for longer. Coaches always talk like that, and I think both teams would have ticked that box, being tough for a long time, and they just a bit too good at the end.
Like you say, the resilience is growing. Those sort of lapses in your games getting smaller, week to week. But I imagine it'd just be nice for the boys to look reward for effort. But the last 2 weeks in particular, where one of the opponents just stepped up in a real clutch moment right at the end of the week.
Yeah, it was just. It's a game of small margins for us at the moment. We had some chances even after they kicked that goal. We had 3 or 4 really good entries where they just got a finger on it and just were able to be good enough to hang on. And proud of those efforts. But there was lots of parts of the game that we're really pleased with. We didn't concede 3 goals in a row today. We've been conceding sort of a run of goals in every game so far this year. Even last week. We conceded 5 in a row. There's a break in the middle of that, but today they didn't kick more than 2 in a row. So that was a step in the right direction. I think the maturity of the group and the leadership, while still plenty of work, plenty of upside still, I think their understanding of key moments and what to do in key moments has improved.
And they were right on top in uncontested possessions and marks through most of the game. You really tightened that up and actually caught them right up in the last quarter. Was that a specific message to the team, or was that just a consequence of how you were playing?
I think it was a consequence of field position that they were getting. So they moved the ball with uncontested marks. They've done that all year, very strong in that area. And we had trouble stopping their lead-ups, particularly their forwards, hitting the wings and getting a lot of marks on the lead. I thought Walker and Rochelle and guys like that played quite well in that area. So particularly early in the game. Later on, once they won a bit of field position from clearance, then it was locked in their forward line, so much harder for them to move the ball with uncontested marks. So it was an ebbing and flowing game. The scoreboard never got too far in any direction, so it would have been a good game to watch. It was great conditions, and I think it was a coin flip, like the scoreboard said, about who was going to win that game. There's lots of KPIs, lots of things you can take out of it, but at the end, they were just a little bit cleaner and they just executed a little bit better right at the end.
Luckily, I guess, 12 options going forward at the moment. You just wait for somebody to really step up and say, I want that spot. You need someone to do that at the moment. Obviously, Footy and Taylor, probably did that right a difference in the
Yeah, I think Jack Scrimshaw, we brought him in. He's been managing a bit of a turf toe injury, so he can only play sort of limited minutes, and brought him in, and we needed some height in the forward line with Lynchy going out of the game. So he gave us a contest, didn't get outmarked, was able to crumb a goal as well. So I thought he put in a significant shift for us in the second half and was able to have an influence. But I think Fergus is working really hard and he's finding a way to hit the scoreboard every week, so really pleased with how he's going about it. But as far as key forwards go, he's 6 foot or 6'1", and so he's a bit of a lone hand in the height department when the rucks aren't there. So looking for a key forward, but Box Hill had a strong performance again, and Jacob Kaczynski and Max Ramsden, as well as Mitch Lewis, likely to be available. So there's all options that are coming forward now. Yeah, I think with Mitch, obviously we miss him, the player that he is as a big key forward, but also his energy and what he brings to the group. He's such a well-loved teammate, but he's not going to change our whole forward structure, and we're going to play a completely different tone and different manner when he comes in. We've had to find a couple of different avenues to goal, but realistically, he's going to add some aerial strength for us when he comes back. But that's not going to change everything about our forward structure. And today again, we had lots of opportunities. I don't know how many. Haven't seen the stats yet. I'm not sure how many forward 50 tackles we had, but it was a lot. We just couldn't find a way to get a hold in the ball, or to get a free kick, or just to be able to get one, to get a cheap one. Whereas I thought they got a couple of good cheap goals where we just probably weren't able to do it on the other side of the ball.
And when on Connor Nash had a really good game today, how do you feel like he's developing every single week?
Yeah, I think Nash is growing into himself. He's still reasonably new to the game, and now he's been playing the game for long enough that he understands a lot more of the small things that are difficult to explain. I think he's really good at playing his role. He's a great teammate. He's a great player to coach because he'll do whatever's required. He has the odd big key moment. He had a fantastic tackle in our forward 50 that created a scoring shot for us, and his energy around the ball and toughness has been really strong. So I love him getting a bit of reward for the effort that he's put in, not just this year, but year after year after year, and he's finally getting some reward.
Obviously, with Max and Lynch, obviously not going to see him go off given his history. How, careful do you have to be with him in the next few weeks to going forward? I mean, because he's had quite a few head knocks now last year and a half. So
yeah, Lynchy's had some concussion history, so as soon as we heard there was they were going to take him for concussion tests, I didn't hover on that decision too long. I don't want to let the medical team do their, don't want to put any pressure on them. So we were very quick to pull him out of the game and make sure that he's going to be okay. So I haven't followed up with him. I didn't see him afterwards. So hopefully it's not too bad. But we didn't even, we sort of were pretty ready to make that change pretty quickly, given his history. But disappointing for him because he's worked so hard to get back into the side, and then he's right there. He gets his chance, and unfortunately goes down, in the first half.
is that a bit of a worry? He has worked so hard to get back into the long time of last year, came back for the last round, and then it's come back to the first game again. So is that a concern going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got too much into it. I think anyone who has had head knock history, and then there's obviously some concerns, but we'll wrap our arms around him and look after him and make sure that he's in a good place. And there's certainly a much greater understanding of what that looks like in the competition now, which is a good thing. And so we're probably fortunate that it wasn't a generation ago where we didn't understand what we do now.
And the Launceston crowd really got around the team in some of those big moments and some of those big goals. You guys just really seem to every single time bring your A game down. What do you feel like is the difference when you guys are playing now?
Yeah, we certainly love playing here. We feel a genuine home ground advantage. We train here all the time. We know where we stay. It has a homely feel about it. We feel like the crowd is really behind us whenever we play in Launceston. So we love it. We've got a couple more games down here later in the year. So looking forward to getting back. But back up to Melbourne next week to play the Bulldogs, who had a good win in Perth. So it's the nature of a national competition. So we certainly enjoy playing in Tassie though.
Obviously still losses. Like, is it a bit more of a mental test for the boys now? So we approach those games the wrong way. Just a couple of key moments we felt out here. And the opposition was just too good in those clutch moments.
Yeah, I think if you look at the progress we've made over the last 3 weeks, it's been significant about a couple of areas in particular. One is being able to hold momentum. So against Geelong, we conceded 10 goals in a quarter and had no real answers for what to do about that. And we've done a bit of work on that over the last couple of weeks and seen some progress. Now, unfortunately, that progress hasn't led to a W in the win-loss column just yet, but we feel like over the last 2 weeks our performances have given us a much better chance. And the spirit amongst the group hasn't wavered at all, and you have to watch them and look at the disappointment in their face at the end of the game, and I just really felt for them today. I mean, Adelaide, they played some really good footy today, and you get what you deserve more often than not in this caper, and they obviously deserve to win because they just handled the last part of the game a little bit better than we did. So we'll lick our wounds. We'll have a close look at that last part of the game, as well as what we did to get ourselves that situation, and we'll get ready for the Bulldogs next week.